Hello, and welcome to Swahili Talk Lab, a place where you learn practical Swahili for everyday life. I am your presenter, Mwalimu Grace, and karibu. Darasa la tatu, Lesson 3, Kujitambulisha or Self-Introductions. During this lesson, we shall recap Swahili greetings we had learned in the earlier video. If you have not watched the video, just go to our bio and find the second lesson. We then go further and learn how to introduce ourselves in Swahili. Remember to subscribe and like our channel for more Swahili lessons that drop every week. Karibu. In the last lesson, we started out by learning of the greeting Jambo. We said that this greeting is primarily used by visitors to East Africa, and the answer is another Jambo. For the native Swahili speakers, however, we prefer to use Hujambo, and the answer is Sijambo. We then learned of the greeting Habari and all its time-specific versions. When greeting an elderly person or someone of higher authority, we learned that we say Shikamo, and they answer Marahaba. Then finally, we learned of the casual greetings like Mambo, which is answered by Poa. Today, in our introduction lesson, we have Amina, who's going to introduce herself. And when you want to introduce yourself, you start by stating your name. And Amina says, Jina langu ni Amina. Repeat after me. Jina langu ni Amina. Which means my name is Amina. She goes further to introduce her country, where she comes from, and says, Ninatoka nchi ya Kenya. Ninatoka nchi ya Kenya. Or ninatoka kwenye nchi ya Kenya, which all means I come from Kenya. If you come from a different country, however, you can add your country name. For example, ninatoka nchi ya Marekani. Ninatoka nchi ya Marekani, which means I come from America. Or ninatoka nchi ya Ujerumani. Ninatoka nchi ya Ujerumani, which means I come from Germany. She then goes further and states the city where she lives in and says, Ninaishi kwenye mji wa Nairobi. Ninaishi kwenye mji wa Nairobi. I live in the city of Nairobi. She also talks of her career and says, Mimi ni mwalimu. Mimi ni mwalimu. I am a teacher. If she were a doctor, she would say, Mimi ni daktari. Mimi ni daktari. I am a doctor. If, however, you are a student, you can say, Mimi ni mwanafunzi. Mimi ni mwanafunzi. I am a student. She goes ahead to talk about the languages she can speak and says, Mimi naongea lugha za Kiswahili na Kiingereza. Mimi naongea lugha za Kiswahili na Kiingereza. Which means I speak Swahili and English. When you, however, want to talk about the languages you can understand, you can say, mimi naelewa lugha ya Kijerumani. Mimi naelewa lugha ya Kijerumani. I understand German, and put the language you can understand there. She goes ahead and talks about her age. And she says, nina miaka 27. Nina miaka 27. Which means I am 27 years old. If you want to learn further on Swahili numbers, you can check out our next lesson in this series, which is a Swahili numbers lesson. If you are a different age, let's say 45, you say, nina miaka 45. Nina miaka 45. I am 45 years old. Amina goes ahead and talks of her hobbies. And she says, ninapenda kupika. Ninapenda kupika. Which means I enjoy cooking. If you enjoy something different, let's say playing football, you can say, ninapenda kucheza kandanda. Ninapenda kucheza kandanda. I love playing football. Finally, Amina introduces herself this way, and do not forget to repeat after me. Jina langu ni Amina. Ninatoka Kenya. Ninaishi kwenye mji wa Nairobi. Ninaongea lugha ya Kiswahili na Kiingereza. Mimi ni mwalimu. Nina miaka 27. Ninapenda kupika. For your personal practice, you can practice to introduce yourself using the guide that we have learned in this class. And if you feel you learned something and would like more, do like and follow us on this channel for further lessons that drop every week. Or you can find downloadable worksheets, practice exercises, and more on our www.patreon.com/Swahili Talk Club channel. And I hope to see you in our next class, where we shall learn of Swahili numbers from 1 to 100. And kwaheri and happy learning.